Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name's Ethan. I am a part of Futures Elite, and I am in charge of all the trader interviews. So we sit down with traders who've successfully received payouts and go deep into their process, their journey, the setbacks, and what shifted for them and what finally made it click. So today, I'm going to be here with John. If you want to introduce yourself real quick.
Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is John, and I recently started trading with Futures Elite, and so far, one of the best prop firms. Rules are very clear, support is really good, and very understanding. One of the reasons why I would like to continue to trade with them.
Love that. I love that so much. And honestly, we're going to ask you a few questions as to why you actually came to that conclusion. Because obviously, people need some backing to that. So start to tell us who you are, where you're from, and how long you've been trading, just to get to know you a little bit.
Okay, great. So, pretty much, guys, I was born and raised in New York, in the Bronx, to be more specific. I've been trading for approximately 2 years now. I have not been trading for too long. And what really got me into trading is that I used to do a lot of DoorDash on the side, a lot of Uber Eats and stuff like that. And I just figure, like, I'm pretty sure everybody goes through this type of experience. There just has to be a better way to make money on the side, of course, with discipline. And
100%.
what pulled me towards purchasing a challenge account with Futures Elite is 100% because of their rules. I just got tired of the daily soft reach rule. I got tired. I pretty much I was just looking for a prop firm that would give me the leverage to be able to risk whatever I want as long as I follow their rules. Like, trades must stay within 10 seconds. No shorter than that. I'm also a momentum trader. If you were to look at my charts have thousands of lines and stuff like that. So pretty much, what got me into Futures Elite, it's 100% because of their rules. Like I was explaining before, the daily breach is something that really gets to me because I feel like right when I get stopped out with daily breaches is like exactly when the market goes towards the direction that I anticipated it was going to go to. You understand? So now, and a lot of traders, I'm pretty sure they feel the same way I do. You get frustrated, and I was like, damn, like, will I get the same opportunity tomorrow? And a lot of traders, that I'm pretty sure they just dislike that rule in general. Another thing that I love about you guys is you guys do not have an intraday trailing like Apex does. It's horrible, because
Yep.
the market, especially I personally trade the NQ, it fluctuates so much. It's very a lot of volatility. You can get 50 move point towards the upside and then right a few seconds later get a 50 move point towards the downside. So it could easily destroy your account.
Would you say our rules kind of helped you, discipline wise, not lose your account? Because that's the reason why it's so strict, because it is in place there to help you and to, ensure that, you have a better percent of not failing.
Yeah, like I was explaining to you earlier today, not every day is a trading day. 7 days is enough. It's enough amount of days for you to be able to come up with a plan. You understand what I'm saying? Like, for example, like I know that my goal, my profit target is $8,000 when I first started my account, trading my account with you guys. And I just, in my mind, I already processed and kind of figured out what type of daily profit I wanted to make for myself. You get what I'm saying? So I
100%.
would like I would like kind of do like 8,000 divided by 7 and kind of see what the numbers were. And to me, it was pretty much close to like 1,000 and some change. And in my mind, I said, hey, it's still too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my goal. I'm going to set a lower profit target with my stop loss. And I'm going to, every time I enter a trade, I'm going to trail my trade until I get to my profit target. And if I see more momentum, if I see that the trade wants to continue to go higher, then I'll continue to trail. You get what I'm saying? So let's
Yep.
say if my goal for that day was $800 and I already made the $800, but I see that there's more potential to the trade, I'll reach 1,000 and I'll leave it at that because of the 20% rule. I understand that I'm not going to make $1,000 every day. Not every day is a $1,000 trading day unless you're
Yep.
full porting, which a lot of traders do, and this is why they get denials.
And I mean, you're not going to wake up the next day a millionaire starting this out, you know?
Exactly.
That's kind
Exactly.
of a year to date thing, you know? It's you got to look at the whole calendar and be like, all right, so, you know, most of this is green, which is good. You have some red days, which is, you know, it's still good as well. You want some red days, you know, you want to learn from that, and it happens, you know, it's just a human thing to do. And now, kind of moving on from kind of, you know, that topic, like one, obviously you do have your green days, right? And it's cash out day. You actually just got a payout today during this interview. I just want to know,
Absolutely.
like, what are your feelings behind this? Like, what are you feeling? What are your thoughts, your opinions on this whole process in general? And is this your first payout with Futures Elite?
Well, so yeah, this is my first ever payout with you guys. And I agree with your methods and how you guys are like personally wanting to see if there's an actual human behind all the trades for whatever accounts are being purchased. You understand? Because there are a lot of scams. There are a lot of people, a lot of companies, wanting to pass your evaluations, and then you give them some sort of cut, or or some sort of payment
Right.
and stuff like that. They'll try to profit off of you, and you get what I'm saying. There's a lot of people that utilize bots and stuff like that, so I completely understand why the risk team would want to interview traders. And who knows, maybe in the future I might be one of those traders that you guys may consider for live trading and that type of stuff. It's all about discipline and having a strategy and a plan and
Yeah.
going with it. When you have a red day, it's not all about green days. There's also red days. Learn from your mistakes.
Yep.
Kind of go
100%.
back to your trades, retrace everything and see what you did wrong. And most of the times, it's your sizing.
Yep.
People lose and have red days because they want to size. They want to become millionaires, from one day to another, which is not it's
It's
not
not how it
possible.
is. It's not
Yeah.
how it's done, you know. And honestly, I mean, seeing your mindset and your mentality right now, like, just how do you feel from that payout? Because I know earlier you
Oh
kind of mentioned like like it is a happy feeling. Don't get me wrong, it is so happy.
I'm not going to lie. I felt a little bit scared and kind of worried. I try to. I even went back to my trades and try to figure out, like, hey, what did I do wrong? Why am I
Right.
being selected for an interview? Is this all just marketing? But after speaking to you, you were so honest. You're so humble. And because of you, I
Thank you.
trust because of you, I trust this company way more than. And then I started thinking to myself, like, hey, let me not just read all the bad reviews. Let me give them the benefit of the doubt. And if you read our email chains, you'll see that I fully explained to you guys that I have a good feeling about you guys. You get what I'm saying? Like, and it's like you mentioned earlier, like, we have to learn to not always view the negative, and
100%.
kind
I
of
agree.
stick to
Yeah.
the positive. And I just stuck to that. And I said, let me give them a chance. And like I said earlier today, it makes sense why you would want to interview me, because I could be a scammer. I could be,
Yeah.
using bots and stuff like that. And that's not me.
Yeah. No, and I love that we're doing this because it's like not people need to know this stuff. You know, people need to know what's going on through your brain, and people need to know what's going on through our brain.
Oh
You know,
man,
I'm here to represent this company, and you're here representing yourself, you know, someone that's using your company to actually make a living for yourself. So this is why, we got to spread awareness of this stuff. And kind of moving on to the next question. I mean, you did mention that you were a beginner, or you're kind of just starting out just
so
now.
yeah, I am. I'm still a beginner.
Since say you got to pay out though, that's awesome. That is awesome.
I got a payout, but people need to understand that trading is not easy, bro. And I struggle myself a lot. I still catch a lot of L's, a lot of losses. I've lost a lot of money, and I'm
Do
like
you mind sharing that
slowly
number?
close as a
No,
little
hey, don't be
embarrassing,
afraid to
but
say it with that chest. You got it.
bro, like I
Don't make
would
that
I
back
would
pass.
grab a credit card and just fully max out my credit card and just buy and buy and buy accounts, and so much. What's one of the main issues with before I give you the actual number of my losses? The main
100%.
issue is that people buy 5 and 10 accounts and they want to copy trade these accounts. I don't copy trade. I'm
Yep.
one of those guys that I try to spread my risk and I try to trade one account at a time.
Really good.
No, and this is the reason why I lost so much money. I lost close to $60,000, bro. And I'm like slowly but surely making it back. And I could say that I'm like halfway there now, but I've definitely learned from my mistakes. Copy trading is not the way to go, especially with prop firms where like when you have to pay activate, especially my type of account. This is an instant funded account, close to $500, probably a little bit more than that. You want to take your time. You
Yeah.
want to be able to, measure and stick to your plan.
Yeah. I mean, it's an investment that you made. I mean, why would you throw it out the door? I think it's like 300 plus. It's like a 800 around
Yeah,
there for for an instant, depending on which way you go. But yeah, it's if I spent $1,000 on something, of course I want to take my time. Of course, at the end of the day, it's all in the mental, like how you really view this. Like I mean, the fact that you blew the account, you're not taking it seriously enough. You
I could
you
say
need
that
to.
trading is like a whole different type of emotion. It's
Yeah,
it's weird. It's not like my girlfriend left me or I left my girlfriend or I don't live with my mom anymore. Like it's very emotional, especially when you see that you could lose money in seconds. So it's
and
very important to know what type of size, what type of contract you want to get yourself into before you even place a trade.
yeah, you receive your first payout. You clearly been through a lot of struggle, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it's clear, it's very clear. But this is just the start. You're taking the next steps. You're still sticking to your routine, sticking to your schedule, and just getting it done. What advice? Every person's different. You have your own unique selling point. Like, what advice would you give to just beginners?
This is going to be very contradicting. A lot of people may not agree with what I am going to say, but
Yeah, no worries.
you can learn, but don't rely on YouTubers to make money. You
Yeah,
get what I'm saying? And what
100%.
traders don't understand that there's always a 5 second or 10-second delay. They may have the correct trade, and by the time you enter your trade, you're not going to have the same profits as them and that type of situation. What I usually do, what I advise for people to do is like before 6 p.m., kind of analyze what and predict what you think may happen the next day. I usually like to revisit the 4 hour chart just to see the highs and the lows. So like, and then I start coming down from 4 hour to 1 hour to 30 minutes to 15 minutes because just because you see something on the 4 hour, it doesn't mean that you're going to place a trade and it's going to, because the more you start reducing the time, the bigger the candles get. And, next thing you know, you could come down to a 5 minute and all of a sudden you're like in consolidation or something. So
100%.
I would say just be yourself, learn from yourself, analyze the charts, always go, basic stuff, support, resistance, and kind of go from that. And if you are going to place a trade and you're not sure and you see
I'll
that
place
there's a
it.
lot of range, just stick to micros. There's nothing wrong to sticking to micros. And if you're sure about your trade and you kind of know because you've studied the market for like a few weeks now or a few days now, and you kind of anticipate that it's going to go a certain direction, then I'll say if you are going to go with minis, start with one. A
Yeah.
lot of traders full port and they just want to get rich in one day, and it's not the reality of life. It's not going to happen.
I mean, hey, that's that period, man. Period. Like that's it. Like that's game right there, man. So, and then last question for you: would you recommend Futures Elite to any beginner or any veteran out there?
Absolutely. Just the fact that you're able to start instant funding, it's something amazing. It's more expensive, but just the fact that you don't have to go through a evaluation phase is it's a plus right away. Just stick to the rules. These are not new rules. A lot of prop firms have the majority of the rules that you guys have, but what's make you guys stand out is that you guys do not have intraday trailing and you guys do not have a daily breach. You're
Right.
able to leverage, you're able to use the entire drawdown if you want to. I wouldn't recommend for anybody to do that, but the fact that you're not being, because there's a lot of times where like you would enter a trade and then you'll get stopped by a daily breach. And then all of a sudden, the trade goes the direction that you said it was going to go. It becomes a little bit frustrating. So, what, like I said earlier, you guys right now, to me, And it's not because you're doing this interview, and it's none of that. Like, I'm being honest. Like, you
Yeah,
guys have
please.
the best rules in the game right now.
I appreciate that. And
Intraday trading
yeah.
kills, it kills you,
Yep.
especially trading the Nasdaq. Like, you get a 100-point move to the upside, and you blink, and all of a sudden now you get a 100, 120-point move to the downside. Your intraday is gonna, it's gonna destroy your account.
100%, man. I appreciate you for even being honest, just being honest the whole interview as well and just kind of letting us know
Absolutely.
like your thoughts about that. You are a very good guy,
Thank
genuine.
you, man.
Like your
Yourself too,
mindset
man.
is
Thank you.
thank you, man. Your mindset is there and I could tell you like whatever you're going through in life right now, like you'll for sure get through it with with these trades and everything like that. The whole calendar is going to be green and you will sorry.
Thank you, thank
Yeah,
you.
we're getting too deep in it.
I
Yeah.
completely understand where this is going. Thank you, man.
Yeah. Hey, man, but John, thank you so much for being on this interview. Hang tight after we end this recording. If you guys want to see more of these trader interviews, and this is raw, authentic, and this is pros and cons, no fake news, BS, go ahead and tune into the next one. Again, my name's Ethan, and I'm from Futures Elite. Peace, guys.